Or constructed languages is the other word for
I
it.
mean, like Latin.
Oh,
I do not. But I do mean like Esperanto.
Is the plan still to kidnap John and Jeremy for Saturday?
I hope so.
I believe so.
No.
Oh, okay.
No?
That means yes.
I've already said no. Please do not pick me up on Saturday.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Means yes.
I believe Jeremy, though.
Easy enough. I know where he lives now.
Right?
It's the Villains Talk Show.
Oh, we're on. I was going to turn on my face.
You can still can. We're still on the title screen. The music's still going.
Just
People
checking my video.
People still be bobbing their heads.
Yeah, we're so good at putting our things together.
I've been together the whole time. I'm completely.
So good.
Nice messy face.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to the Villains Talk Show and Podcast. I am always one of your many hosts, C4. Joined today with the other three of the four. We have below me, but in podcast land, it doesn't really mean anything to you. We have Insanieac. Beside me is Sara, the Viking. And across from me is the greasy boy himself. You gonna say hello?
No.
Everyone else said hello except you, greasy boy. Just gonna stand there and look at me awkwardly. Try to get your internet to work.
Yeah, is he really there? I just see circles.
I
There
just
we
see
go.
circles. The forever
Now
circles.
it's working.
Is
I
it?
think we lost him.
I think we lost him. There we go. Oh, I heard his
Can you
voice.
hear me or no?
I can hear him now.
Oh, now we hear you.
Holy,
I could
he's
hear
back.
you.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi.
It's always the Wi-Fi. Anyway, hello and welcome. It is Wednesday, which means it is Talk Show and Podcast Wednesday.
Is this?
It's always
There he
nice
is.
to see all of you. It's all of you out there in podcast space listening to us.
Especially you.
God.
You know who you are.
Yeah, really.
We appreciate
Thank you. You who know who you are. You out
Yeah,
there.
you know who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
You.
our favorite.
I know who you are.
But we do talk shows on
Hugh is
Wednesdays,
the
and we do
greatest.
two shots on Fridays. We post them podcast. You can get the podcast anywhere you look for a podcast. We're even on this new thing called Wish that apparently they invited us to be on
Wisdom?
because we're so
Wisdom?
wise. Wisdom. That's
Wisdom.
right. We're on Wisdom because we're so wise.
We're not on Wish.
We're on what?
We're
Wisdom.
not on
Yeah.
Wish. Yeah.
We're
Not on Wish.
I mean, you might be able to buy us on Wish.
We're villains.
One
We
day.
don't make wishes come true. We
We're
usually
on
break them, to be
Wisdom.
honest.
If you want to check us out, hello Rujala. If you want to
Hello.
check us out anywhere else, we also have a YouTube
Good
channel.
link
The
tree.
YouTube channel is Aftergood, but it's the
The
Villains
link
Talk
tree
Show.
is in the chat.
Link trees in the chat, and I'd also like to thank our Patreon, our only Patreon, Adrian Vanderweel. Thank you very much. And then we also, if you want to support the channel in any way, just like or subscribe things or pander.
Stuff.
We need that pander
Patreon,
button.
wonderful social, but
God, we
social
need that
medias and
pander.
all
I
that stuff.
sent it in the admin chat.
tree.
You just haven't used it yet.
No, I need I need to set it up so I can just press a button on my keyboard and it's just a giant screen shows up to everyone and just says pander for everyone watching, and then for the podcast it's just an automatic read of the most stereotypical voice remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
So where do we do our podcast from?
Today's
Live on
podcast.
YouTube.
YouTube. Yes. Wait, what? What was that? I'm so confused.
Not live on YouTube yet.
No, that's me because
It's in the refill.
I
It's
didn't.
not working properly. Right?
Yeah, that's because it's not working properly. To be honest, to be
okay.
completely fair, is I didn't pay the bill, so I paid all the other bills, but I didn't pay that bill. But if you want to make sure that we can pay the bill on time next time, you can always support us on Patreon.
I'm sharing that link right now.
Ooh, we're a lively bunch tonight.
I know.
So lively.
Today's topic.
We also do
Sarah
our
the Viking.
podcast through.
What is
through
today's topic?
Buzzsprout. You should check out Buzzsprout.
What is today's topic? Linguistics and invented languages. Or
Like
constructed
English.
languages, conlangs, whatever you want to call it.
Like
My
English.
favorite thing. No. Stop it.
Latin.
Languages and stuff.
No. Stop it.
Portuguese,
Spanish.
Gaelic.
Esperanto. That's
Well,
one.
If I may hijack their two
No.
trolling, as it were.
We're doing what every fan out there is thinking. You know, it's true.
Oh my god. Because me and Sarah, first of all, have actually, I don't really know. I mean, I have some idea of what your background is. I know that you're a writer. I know that you write a lot, but I know that one of my passions and one of the things I had to take when I got my English degree is unfortunately phonemes and languages. So
I did a minor in linguistics.
oh, beautiful. Oh, so we're going to have some fun today. So
Yeah.
you guys mentioned 3 languages.
Hey,
down
wait,
there.
that probably means we had the same professor.
Which ones?
Huh. What's her name? There was this one that I loved
Don't
so
name
much.
names.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh.
Don't name
Oh
names.
yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
remember her name
yes.
anyways, but she lectured and she wrote everything down on the
Anyway.
chalkboard as she went, and I loved her.
That sounds like everyone. Anyway, no, to answer 33 questions because they wanted to be dicks about it, and I'm not going to let them get away with it. So you mentioned Portuguese, Latin, and what was the other one you mentioned?
English.
Spanish.
Okay, Spanish.
French.
So let's go funny. It's funny you mentioned all those languages because all those languages all derived from Latin, and Latin actually derived from original Roman, and original Roman actually was a mix of Old Sumerian and modern, or I guess not modern, it would be ancient. What is it?
Proto-Indo-European.
Don't even Rujhala, that's not funny. That's not funny. We're not going to talk about that word. No.
we can start saying that more often.
The baiting is starting to become, but
we can say that too. We can see that more
technically
often.
everything's a word, but we'll get into that later. But all those are related because they all spurred from Latin. So it's funny that you mentioned those languages because they're all legal, real languages, but they all were fake at the time. Technically, all languages are all fake when they're first made up. They are. It's just a fake language.
Until people start
Well,
saying
except most these languages that we actually speak, these are not made up languages.
Yes, they
And
are.
where did they come from?
They
If they weren't made up, then where did they come from?
evolved over time, starting from their most distant ancestor.
And where did that come from?
Well,
then?
they are made up, but not. It's not like someone sat down and made them up. They evolved over time and became their own thing.
That's not
Yeah,
where
wasn't
did
it
the
based
original
off-
languages come from?
Wasn't that from phonics? How it started with, in a certain sense.
just to be a little broad. There are languages in today's vernacular that were made completely from scratch.
Yeah,
I'm not
there are.
talking about fake languages because I know a lot of people are going to jump on me and go, "Oh, like Elvish and Orcish." No, I mean like sign language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A complete language that was made in the last 100 years that is basis of nothing. Same with
It's completely based off observation.
same with phonetics. One of my least favorite and favorite things. I hate it because it's so hard to learn, but if you
I
learn
love phonetics.
if you learn phonetics, you can speak any language in the world.
Oh yeah,
Any
100%.
it is Like if you ever hear see those stupid commercials about the Rosetta Stone or like Hooked on Monkey Phonics, if you ever actually look and see what it is teaching you, it's teaching you phonetics. And
It's probably teaching you, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them. Like it's all it is. It teaches you phonemes, which is that hurt me for saying that. Goddamn phonemes.
Or you to say phonemes. I love phonemes. Phonetics and phonemes were my favorite part of linguistics.
My brain is.
Does that hurt you?
Yeah, it does. It really does. It was so.
The International Phonetic Alphabet is the best. I love it. I have an entire language that I constructed following rules from the International Phonetic Alphabet and the structure of it.
Do you have a link to that so that our viewers can see it?
No, I have it all on paper.
Nice.
But to Rujala's point, she keeps writing irregardless in the chat.
Irregardless,
to try and trigger me. But little does she know
I'm gonna say that once in a while.
Even though I hate pointless words is what I call them. I don't hate made up words. Like yeet, one of my favorite new words in the last.
Inconceivable.
It's a good word.
I love saying yeet. It's such a fun word.
I can see that though.
Like when new words enter the vernacular or a word changes a meaning, I'm completely for that. Like I say guesstimate just to piss off some of my friends because it's so used. And that's the point of language, right? It evolves. The more people use it, the more they teach their kids, eventually it becomes part of the language. What
Exactly.
I hate is just lazy speech. Like regardless and irregardless.
Yes.
That is just lazy speech.
A regulus.
That's all that is.
A regulus.
All it is. It doesn't mean anything different. There's no point to it. It's just
I
lazy
always wonder
speech.
where some of the sexual like terms come into, like when that was invented. Like since Rushala is here, I'm trying to take inspiration on that. When was Blumpkin ever made as a word? That's something that's just like like was it invented? Did it have like a background?
Weird thing to pull out of the. It's a weird thing to pull out of the sky there, Insanieac. Do you want to explain to our audience what a Blumpkin is?
No, I don't want to know. Let's just not.
Well,
Let's hear about it.
That's the journey of our show. People are free to look this up if they want. I'm just gonna go operate based on the assumption that people have it, unless somebody else wants to explain.
Not explaining what it is. That's a weird thing to just be at the top of your head.
Well, see,
that seems pretty normal.
My first thought was because we have Rushala in chat, so I'm trying to think of something strangely like she was part of her sexual episode. I'm like, okay, well, what kind of weird sexual name came up? That was probably pretty recent. And my first thought is like Blumpkin. I was like that. I heard that in Harold and Kumar once, and like that was pretty recent, like.
Well, I think the
word moist is great.
Like yeet or like twerk. Those are fairly new words too.
Or like pegging. Was pegging always like a thing?
Or Insaniac's insatiable lust to find out the origin of Blumpkin.
All right.
Oh yes, I'm happy.
You should probably consider looking at the etymology of that yourself, because Rushala probably does not know off the top of her head.
But
I'm not asking her specifically. I just wanted to gear my thought towards our audience a little bit.
To be fair, though, he in a really roundabout way, Insaniac does have a point, because the more I think about it, like, what the fuck is that word?
Where did it come from? And just like how did it like explain like that? Like I think it's like supposed to be a UK.
All right, just
some kind of slang, but
just feeding this tangent a little bit. You start to think about other sexual positions, and they're all just really weird innuendos, like rusty trombone, the missionary, so on and so forth. But that one's just, like, what? Like, even blowjob has, like, a more of a sense to it. The fuck? Like, okay. Now I'm off the tangent. That was it. I just wanted... That's just... It,
I was just say that could have gone deeper. My goodness. But right? See, that's my point, is that it was just a made-up word that quite literally, like, it's pretty recent, and how does it even make sense?
I feel like there's a whole story about Insaniac looking on the internet of what this is and scarring.
I definitely haven't ever looked. Oh, see, Caden just shared a link.
Yeah, you're
He
welcome.
looked it up. He literally just looked it up. So we'll share that
You're
in
welcome.
chat.
The teabag.
I'm going to share that in chat.
Rujala says, I enjoy
Teabag
getting
dip.
visceral response from specific words like moist. I never really cared about words like that.
Oh wait, that was the wrong one.
And I'm strangely
Oh,
honored to
send
have
Panda button.
inspired a runaway train of
Panda button.
thought. The teabag dip.
There you go. That's the link.
You guys, thank you for
But let's
posting
see what
that in
that
chat.
shares.
Like, you. I'm sure everyone in chat is so happy that that our co-hosts are on top of teaching. Thank God there's an age limit.
I just sent it to the group chat. I did not mean for it to end up here. I completely blame Insanieac for that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't mean this for this to spiral. So I was just a word.
You sent it to the chat.
I said it to the chat so that way. Look.
To be fair, just to kind of segue
Links
away from this,
people.
but I'll keep. Do you think J.R.R. Tolkien, when he made up like Orcish and Elvish, and do you think he made swears?
Yes.
Right?
I don't think
I
he
would
did.
think so. I would think so.
I've never heard.
Like,
I bet he did.
in like
Maybe
in
in
the-
Orcish, but I'm fairly positive he didn't.
in the
anyone
Mordor
in
games,
the
they
chat
call
out there,
they
do they know if there's
they-
any Orcish swears? I know there's
in
Gorgoroth.
Mordor
Like,
they call people like Shrek and like things like that.
So-
like,
and Gorgoroth
Yeah, but that
is
could
a
be-
death metal band that sings in
No.
Orcish, like because Gorgoroth is the capital city of Mordor. If you ever heard Gorgoroth
Yeah.
and you're a metal fan, great fucking band. But you have to learn Orcish to understand them. That being
Nice.
said, that question still stands. I would like to know, like, is there swears in his made-up language?
I'm fairly.
I think there
I'm
are
very
some.
positive that he did not make
Probably
up swears
not
in
in
Elvish.
Elvish. Yeah, I was gonna say
Maybe.
not Elvish.
Yeah.
Elvish
I
is too
kind
pure.
of doubt it as well.
Would he?
I could see there being swears.
Yeah,
like
every language.
but like G-rated slurs, like, oh, you goddamn slogrits. He said slogrits.
No.
Oh no. The more
yeah.
you know.
I feel like it would be something. I don't know if Ellis has something like that, but I imagine it would be something just kind of off touch that doesn't really seem very like meaningful.
Rujhala
In the
says there's an
Hobbit,
entire
one of the trolls says "What the L," like "What the hell," but with quite the accent. But I think that's about as intense as his language ever gets.
So-
I would be shocked if he made swears in Elvish.
Rujhala
Absolutely shocked.
said that there's a university token language study and there's a whole unit on swears.
Yeah,
Wow.
So
but it would really surprise me if he made that, though.
I mean, he made a lot of notes, and he was in war. War is hell.
Yeah,
Like I know. Like, They asses what a swear to one race would it make sense to another. He totally did.
That's true.
It's true. I mean, it's true. One of the it's like the Russian swear, suka plat. It doesn't mean anything, but it's fun to say.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You know what language I bet has a ton of swears is Klingon.
I don't think so.
No?
You think
I'd
Gene
imagine it would be.
100%
wait.
Duncan has a lot of swears,
Did
though.
Gene Roddenberry actually write different
Duncan.
languages? Because I've heard rumors that those were actually screenwriters that wrote the different languages.
I have no idea. I've
And
never
that,
thought about that.
That it wasn't
Yeah.
Gene Roddenberry.
I think the only one that's a whole language is Klingon.
And Vulcan.
Does Vulcan have a full language?
I'll be honest, I'm a Janeway nut, so there was no Klingons in Janeway's crew. That was a Picard thing.
Yes. I don't. Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I'm honestly don't know.
I don't know either. Start checking out my thing.
I know that you can learn
chat?
Klingon. It's a full language. And Klingon had a native speaker. There was someone who taught their child Klingon as a first language. Like a really nerdy dude who was a dad
Wow.
and who spoke exclusively Klingon with his child. So this kid grew up knowing Klingon and presumably English. But did stop using Klingon eventually and forgot it.
That's hilarious.
It's actually kind of cool.
Technically, you have to learn Romulan and Vulcan to have a complete language. That's true because they are the same. They are two sides of the same.
That makes sense.
That would make sense because they are.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Interesting.
Is it really?
It actually is.
I don't know what you're looking at though.
You just said.
Roll through notes.
Oh,
Oh,
that was Rujala. I just.
Okay, well, what Rujala said, that's interesting.
I mean, theoretically, all you need to have a complete language is what is it? It's 2,500 words. Is the
Something
minimum
like that,
requirement for it to be a complete language.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that are even smaller than that, but I believe the requirements, if I remember, it's 2,500 words because the average human lexicon is only like 1,200 words.
Where do these requirements come from, though? Who makes this requirement?
Actually, man, if I remember, it's a team of 12 people, 4 from Merriam-Webster, 4 from Oxford, and then 4 from another dictionary company. And it's literally a team. And they're also the team that decides on if a word's going to be put in the dictionary. It's like the ultimate thing. If you work at the dictionary company, the ultimate thing is to not become head of the dictionary company, but be appointed to be on the team that looks at languages and looks at words and decides if it's a language or if it's a new word to be added to the vernacular. Or South Park made a whole bunch of hubbubaloo about it, but it's actually so true that you will have people that will actually make debates in front of this team of 12 about changing the definition of a word or adding a definition. It's nutty. It's so over the top. It's kind of
actually really cool. That's really cool. But yeah, I don't know. Languages are just so cool. What about making a language? Something that I've sort of done.
It's
a fun thing to do.
It's a lot of conlang skills.
Yeah.
I found it's easier to make an alphabet and then a language.
Oh, absolutely. It's easier to make an alphabet.
I'm only familiar with video games that have made languages out of them, but not really too much in the way of anything else.
If you want to make a language, it helps to start out by being aware that there's 2 different classes of words. There's open class and closed class. Your closed class words are things like and, or, but, like those function words. You can't make up more of those. Open class words are like your nouns and verbs, where more of them are constantly coming into existence. Like we were talking about earlier with, what was the word? Yeet. Yeet is a new word. So that's part of the open class ones. So if you want to make up a language, you have to make all of those conjunctions and function words, and then you are able to make your nouns and verbs sort of on top of that.
It's easier to name something and to describe something than to conjoin something.
It really is, but you've got to make sure you have those conjoining words and the function words so that you can, form sentences.
Yo, Insanieac, you had a great example. I don't think Sarah's watched South Park a lot in her life, but there's a great scene I would suggest anyone to go watch where
Starvin' Marvin episode.
Starvin' Marvin from space, where there's this alien race and all their nouns, verbs, and adjectives is Marklar.
Every person, place, or thing is Marklar.
It's Marklar. But if you listen to them, if you listen to them talk, they still say this, that, and or. And so there's this whole. So eventually,
and there's a bit of body language to it.
Yeah,
too.
but eventually, Kyle figures out their language, and he actually explains in perfect Marklar to the Marklar about what's going on, and you don't understand it because it's meant to be stupid.
I actually kind of got it a little bit, but yeah.
But it's
Marklar and not Marklar went to the Marklar and bought Marklar.
It's
with several other Marklars.
Marklar
and
Marklar went to the Marklar to go buy some Marklar, but it cost Marklar, so they had to go get more.
No
Marklar.
buy, or no go, and no went.
They had to Marklar.
So
they had to Marklar to
Marklar and Marklar to the Marklar and Marklar
and Marklar. But their Marklar.
So it's the Smurfs.
But
Sounds
their
like
Marklar is Marklar. It's ridiculous. But that isn't technically a language.
That actually makes me think of something. It's back to Star Trek, but it's it's with Picard. There's an episode where there's this race. Picard and this one guy end up on a planet, and they're trying to communicate. And this race that he's trying to communicate with, they talk in stories. So they only talk to each other with like reminders of history and stuff. It was really fascinating, actually, to watch and see how this whole race of people communicates exclusively through the use of like recalling events from the past.
I mean, that sounds cool. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, let's see if I can find it.
Well, why you make that attempt?
Yeah.
It's like.
Here we go.
Well, here's a good question.
Okay, so. Well, I found what I was looking for.
Yeah, you
hold on a sec. Okay, so two things that get repeated a lot are Shaka, when the walls fell, which is an example of failure. If they say that, they mean failure. Or Sokath, his eyes uncovered or opened. That means that he's understanding what's happening. But it's just reminders from like their past that they're using to communicate that.
That's funny. Australians, I think, don't they usually say shakabra for like surfing? I don't know if that's just a slang thing.
What?
But
sorry,
I've heard Australians say shakabra